You're listening to In the Groove. In the Groove is a podcast weekly series by Xombiewoof Magazine. I am your host, Joseph Timmons, and I bring you the artists and musicians you want to know and hear more about, as well as hear some great music on the side. I have Brandon from Diamond Lane, a very, very hot metal group that is coming down the pike, and they've released a new album recently. And Brandon, tell us all about it. Tell us what they're doing, where they're playing, and give us a little inside scoop on the band. So, Brandon, if you would, introduce yourself, please.
Joseph, how are you? Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
No problem at all. So, tell us about the album. What's going on with that?
So Terrorizer came out in May of last year, and we've just hit the ground running ever since. We had a great release show at the Troubadour, and that just kind of set the tone and the momentum for the month to come. With that album, we were able to secure an Artist of the Month spotlight for Fox Sports and their nationwide programming.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It was a fantastic opportunity to reach new potential fans and convert them, if you will. So, we really enjoyed the platform to give us an additional voice. Particularly in this day and age, you kind of have to get creative with different ways to expose yourself to potential fans. So that was a real treat for us. And then we spent the summer months just hitting the road, did a bunch of California runs out in Vegas, just spreading it as far and wide as we could.
Now, the name of the album is Terrorizer, and some of the tracks that we're playing throughout the podcast, we've got The Enemy, Favorite Kind of Victim. These are really powerful songs. I mean, what was the inspiration for most of them? I mean, Favorite Kind of Victim, that's kind of a harsh title. What was that about?
Well, I think with writing songs and extracting content, you just gotta try to tap into something real. Life is just a sum of experiences, good and bad, so you gotta learn something from them. I think that's the important part. So to be able to extract that content and weave it into the structure of a song and translate what you're feeling at that moment in time, that's the challenge, and that's the beautiful payoff at the end of the day. So, to call the album Terrorizer was kind of a summation of the notion that in life we all have things that terrorize us and things that weigh us down and things that bother us. So it's about excommunicating those demons, taking hold of the reins, and steering your own ship.
So basically manning up.
Exactly. Well said.
So, we've got a discography here. We got your first album, World Without Heroes, then Sapphire, and now Terrorizer. Are there any more albums coming down the pike that we need to know about now, or you want to surprise us?
Absolutely. I actually just walked in the door from the studio where we're doing pre-production on the new album. We're combing through a bunch of different ideas and creating a bunch of songs so we can just challenge ourselves to raise the bar and deliver an even more outstanding product to all the rock and metal enthusiasts out there. That being said, we'll be back in the studio officially come March, April, May. So we should be looking at a late summer, early fall, next full-length release from Diamond Lane.
Very cool indeed. Now, being here on the left coast, the west coast, sunny California, we've got the whiskey out here, we've got House of Blues, we've got all these clubs. Are we going to be seeing any of those clubs anytime soon?
Absolutely. Actually, we are going to be doing a big show in Hollywood at the Troubadour on March 21st. That's going to be a fantastic bill right there, kind of just really kicking off the first part of the year in high gear. We're also going to be doing some Northern California stuff. We'll be at Castle Rock in Livermore on February 20th, and we'll be scooting our way out to Sin City, Las Vegas on February 5th with Bang Tango.
Really? wow, there's a name I haven't heard playing the set in a while. That's going to be a hot show.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. The fact that those guys are still kicking after all this time, it's a testament to what they're doing. So we're happy to be a part of it, though.
So tell me about the band. Tell me about the members of the band. Tell us about their, little unique things about them that make such a cool rock group out of you.
You know what? We just got a great group of guys on the team. Everybody really trusts each other. We work hard. We all believe in the same thing. And we treat the music as a priority. We treat the fans as a priority. So it's really, a blessing every time to get to step on stage with those guys. Jarrett and I were the incubators. We started this thing when we were just kids up in San Jose, California. And we moved down to Los Angeles and started to put together the pieces of the real team that you see now. So we got Jarrett and Frankie on guitar, Ray on bass, and Dave Van Diggity on the drums. So it's all really just lined up. The stars have created the map, and Terrorizer is the first of the next chapter.
How do you feel you separate yourself from the artists out there? I mean, there's a lot of talented artists, and I'm sure that there are a lot of artists you look at and go, wow, we get to be on stage with them. Really cool. But how do you separate yourself from the rest of the pack?
I think that's a fantastic question. And really the only way to do that, because we are living in a world where there's a million competing artists with a million competing interests, the only way that you can stand out and stand alone, stand above, is be yourself. Do something that's so truly authentic and honest to you, and then you're going to win. Because the fact of the matter is, there's only one of me. There's one Jarrett, Frank, Ray, Dave, together. There's one Diamond Lane. So we're not going to try to chase and replicate and imitate, because we have the ingredients that we need right here. And I think that is the true secret to being able to tap into something real, raw, and honest.
One would say I'm easily amused, but I'm also, but I'm hard to impress. I'm really hard to impress, and I like to work with artists, doing podcasts like this that not only impress me, but have the ability to impress others, in everything that they do. So, I mean, what's one of your stage shows like? I mean, if I was like, I had a blindfold on, tell me about the show. What would I see? How would it be?
I mean,
what's the energy? What's the firepower?
You're gonna feel it. It's all about the energy and that connection with the audience. And we pride ourselves on our live show because I think that's where it all comes to life. That's the payoff. That's the reward for all the behind-the-scenes work and labor that we put in. It's to get to spend that 30 minutes, that hour with the audience and connect. Everybody's there in celebration of music, something greater than the sum of its parts. So for us to be in the position where we can entertain and we can give people a great time for their hard-earned bucks, that they slugged it out all week at their job just so they can go detach, escape, and have a great time, that's what we revel in the most.
So I'm going to go ahead and press you for a little dirt here. What is the best memory you have performing on stage, and what is the worst memory you have performing on stage?
There's just so many good ones. It's hard to highlight what is the best. Certain things stand out. Obviously, celebrations of album releases, those always, come to the top of the list. Particularly, our first CD release in Los Angeles was World Without Heroes. We had a sold-out show at the Roxy on Sunset. So that was a real hoot, and just a validation of the decision that Jarrett and I made to move to Los Angeles and amass the right team so we could take it to that next level. In terms of worst shows and worst experiences, I mean, geez, where should I start? Slugging it out on the grind for years and years, you're inevitably going to run into some unfortunate circumstances, but you just got to let it brush off your back and move forward. A great mentor of ours told us at a very young age, there's a lot of BS in this business, so everything is either fun or it's funny. And if you can't adapt to that, then it just isn't for you.
Words to live by. So,
amen.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. play a little bit more of your music for our fans. Is there anything that you want to add? I mean, definitely tell us where we can find you, your website, your Facebook, where we can find your albums. This is a podcast. It's recorded, so obviously, giving out exact show dates, may not be good because they'll hear about it like 3 weeks after it's happened. But, let us know where to get your stuff.
Well, Joseph, first off, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show and giving Diamond Lane another platform to communicate with people who might be interested in the band. At the end of the day, it's the rock metal community that keeps this whole thing surviving and thriving. So thank you for giving us a voice in that department. In terms of anybody
thank you, man. That's beautiful, man. Thank you.
And in terms of anybody who is interested and wants to check us out, DiamondLaneRock.com. That's going to be the hub that'll connect you to all of our social sites, Facebook.com/Diamond Lane, YouTube/Diamond Lane videos. We're everywhere. If you Google Diamond Lane, we're the first thing that comes up. And I will say that we're really looking forward to raising the bar, not only for ourselves, but for all the fans this year. We're working really hard on this new album, and we can't wait to put that out there, as well as take our music to new places that we have never gone before. I actually just found out a couple of hours ago we're playing Rocklahoma in Oklahoma this year over Memorial Day weekend with, just a bevy of just amazing bands. I mean, everybody from Linkin Park to Tesla to Godsmack and Slayer. So we're really looking forward to being a part of something that impactful, and we're going to take that and spin it as far and wide as we can.
And as always, you can always find out about the artists, such as Diamond Lane, on Xombiewoof.com. That's XOMBIEWOOF.com, named after our founder, Frank Zappa. Well, actually, he's not our founder. It's just, I really love his work. So, name the magazine after him. But otherwise, you will find about Diamond Lane on the site, as well as links to their videos, their music, everything. I like Frank Zappa. I like talking about Frank Zappa.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So, any parting words, Brandon?
Thank you. Keep the torch burning bright and keep the metal cranked loud.
Most definitely. From Joseph Timmons and Xombiewoof Magazine, cut!